Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to The Meta is Futile presents The Risen War. This is episode 2, The Risen War. Last session, our heroes is kind of a strong word, admittedly, our participants found themselves in the city of Gatewatch on the border of the elven nation of Valeran to the west, and Greymoor, the human land of Greymoor, to the east, caught in a almost a crossfire as Greymoor's Mad King has begun to take his undead armies and push for further territorial expansion, while our hapless wanderers haplessly wandered about Gatewatch. A surprise attack by undead shock troops took the city by surprise, managing to get within the gates, slay a multitude of the townsfolk and the city guard in a matter of minutes, and our party barely escaped with their lives. Deeply wounded, some more than others, looking at Marius over there.
Deeply
Wounded. 1 hit point wounded with a level of exhaustion. Left Gatewatch. Heading towards Marius's suggestion, towards his father's farm, towards his family farm, which is just over the border into Valeran. They are a short walk into the verdant forests down the King's Road, nearing the farm as we begin our session today. Before we get started properly, just a couple of announcements. Most of us here, not me, I'm just a game master. Most of the people here...
You have a one shirt.
Most of us here, not myself, but most of us here are artists that take commissions. Blue, for instance, Blue Brush 09 Arts. You can find pretty much all of them on the usual social media circles. Most of them are open for commissions, so hit them up. They do all of the art for our streams, for the most part, with very, very few exceptions. And I believe at some point we're going to get back into Curse of Strahd, but this particular Risen War, this campaign will be taking place 9 p.m. every Friday night for the foreseeable future, whenever we can get it in, and so make sure you follow our Twitch channel and social media circles. All that information somewhere in like the description of this or another video. I don't know.
We also have a website, kind of.
Yeah, we do have the website,
Card.
That's the
Card.co.
Yeah, card.co. That's one of the 2 R's.
Yeah.
And you check us out there. Just, make sure you follow us on all the things so that you know when we go live. Because sometimes we do little surprise bonus streams, things like that. We're talking about world lore and how we got into this and homebrew stuff, all sorts of weird stuff. Sometimes we talk about ties. But I think I've waffled on. It was one time. One
at least twice. Yes.
At least twice once.
We have fun here.
We do have fun here. Alright. So
sometimes we tie and tie.
That's enough waffling on from me.
Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends.
Oh, join the Discord too.
Join the Discord, yeah.
Discord for more up-to-date notifications.
Yeah,
we ping everyone.
Invite your grandma.
We sure do.
Whether you want it or not.
We're obnoxious.
I'm proud of it. Alright, so
once a week, deal with it.
Marius, Soliana, Edwin, Gale, you all wander down the King's Road. There are a few other there's a few other people on the road, nobody of particular note. There is occasionally a horse, often with a rider, will come galloping quickly past you down the road. The road itself is very old but very well maintained. The cobbles are perfectly placed and have been in their position for years out of mind. Moss clings artfully to the stones, almost as though it was left in certain places intentionally and removed in other places for safety's sake. The trees often overhang the the King's Road. These are great elven oaks. Their boughs provide just enough shade on the King's Road to keep out the harsh sunlight, but now it is getting to be towards nighttime. The sun has just begun to dip over the horizon, which is when the attack on Gatewatch occurred. It's heading towards full dark, but Marius, you do know that even through your fatigue, you're nearing the turnoff to your family farm.
One step in front of the other.
Everyone has dark vision, but we'll cast light anyways.
As Edwin utters his incantation, what are you casting it on? Like an object or just something you're holding?
Yeah, well, I guess it can just be on his staff or just a ball of light.
Okay. Alright, you, as Edwin casts a spell, the dim of the night is pushed away by the magical illumination. After the events of the Gatewatch, the shadows seem a little longer, and maybe normally the King's Road is very peaceful, but here it's something just a little unnerving.
Why we need a nightlight.
I walked down this road many times as a kid, but
See, Gale is on the alert. She's both avoiding telling Soliana something and just trying to keep an eye and an ear for danger.
Okay.
Us, we ain't too far from home. It's just over the next couple of hills here, and well,
you sure you're gonna make it there?
But worse.
Worse.
Have you?
Okay.
Well, maybe not worse in terms of whatever the hell that was.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll get to safety first, and then we'll discuss
Bandits, occasional monsters, but undead. 10 years, I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
No, and that's my job. Oy.
That was a lot.
Well, don't expect too much of this place. It's last I was here is pretty much falling apart.
Safe is safe.
Yeah, safe is safe. Bar the roof possibly caving in, but
We call that charmingly rustic. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm glad that I hope you'll think it's rustic and charming. It's just been my pa living around here. Well, that's too long a story for a road journey.
Well, I'm used to sleeping in a cot, so I suppose it will be fine. Cart or a really big tent.
I don't know how long it's going to take them to push into Valeran. I'm actually afraid of that.
I don't imagine very long.
How quick they took Gatewatch. It won't take them too long.
And how badly they've been harrying my order.
Your order.
Mm.
So that's what that hulking fella was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a superior of mine.
Sure had a command of presence, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, really does. Hopefully he's getting more of people out of there.
I hope you can find my pa. My old man, he's either at the tavern or passed out drunk somewhere. Or he's
With
at
any-
home. I
With
doubt
any
he's at
luck,
home, though.
he's somewhere safe.
With luck and the gods' guidance, possibly. Maybe a drunk, but he's got drunk's luck, I'll tell you that.
Hopefully Valerian won't mind some refugees.
They're going to be seeing a lot of those.
I wonder how they'll react.
I wish I could say. I don't know. My grandmother was from Valerian, but no, I grew up in Orleans.
Ah, that explains it.
What about you? As she turns and looks to Edwin and just kind of, what was your name?
Me? Edwin.
Edwin. Where are you from?
Vilmon.
Anywhere else?
Nope.
You were born
That's
and
the
grew up.
city.
You were born and grew up in Villemont.
Yeah, for a good number of years.
Okay.
Arguably, I've been living in the keep for the past, feels like forever.
I was gonna say, that was some wicked magic you had back there.
Not as
Stuff.
much as I'd like to have at this point, but what I've been able to cobble together myself.
You handled that necromancer pretty damn well, I'll tell you that. Say, as I reckon that was you, saved my ass. That,
Skeletons, yes, I wasn't expecting to blow her chest open.
Hey, no better course of action than violence of action.
It was certainly decisive.
Very.
Glad to
Let's
see
To
be
you.
honest,
honest,
honestly.
that.
Fight or flat, I reckon you got yourself some fight in you, young kid.
I am pretty sure I'm older than you.
You know he's an elf, right?
Oh, Marius.
Pretty sure I'm significantly older than you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we both are.
I'm gonna hold my tongue from something because it might sound bad. Y'all are all deceptively older than you look.
I
Elven blood.
am only 200 roundabouts. I'm still very young.
By elven reckoning.
Oh, you're a lot older than me. Okay.
Well. Huh. I mean, I'm in my 30s, but that's us half elves, you know. Our youth stays a little longer.
Y'all outlived me 3 times over. 4 times even.
Oh, well, I mean, hopefully that
So-
will come later rather than sooner with all of this going on.
Archer are willing. Gail's just gonna kind of peer into the distance to see how close we're getting.
Yeah, as head on the King's Road, the turnoff is fairly obvious. Before long, you see in the distance what was once a very well-made fence. Looked like it was made from long, straight logs. almost like they were grown for the purpose of being this fence. Vines that were once artistic are woven through the timbers, and a sign over the entrance to this farm now hangs from one nail, kind of swinging at the name Monde on it. The fields beyond, the fields beyond are mostly barren. There's a few crops here and there. Looks like perhaps where corn was let go to seed for too long. Some of it was left unharvested and began to propagate. As you walk down the laneway past the fields, there are some sad sticks where vines hang dead that used to be very nice grapes, perhaps. This place was once a beautiful farm. It is very obvious that it has fallen into disrepair. A farmhouse sits in the center at the end of the laneway, some distance from you. It's 2 floors. It was once very well made in the Elvish style. But now some tiles are beginning to fall off the roof. The porch is sagging. The barn, about 50 yards from the house, much the same. The once whitewashed, plastered walls are chipping. The paint in the colors of the family has begun to flake away. Tiles falling. Marius, the cart that your pa just had always been meaning to fix but was too drunk to do, is still sitting by the house. The wheel is still off of it. But it just looks like somebody managed to fix that door that was hanging off the that barn door that was kind of hanging loose. Looks like that's been fixed.
I'm glad he was up to something.
It's a nice little farm.
Rustic, right?
You don't gotta lie. I know what it is.
No, it's fine. It's got its, with a little bit of elbow grease.
A little bit of elbow grease and spit shine, it'll be right as rain. Anyway, where's the safest place in here?
Well,
Mr. Mercenary Tiefling?
Yeah, Marius. You can just call me Marius.
Good to meet you.
Ain't no Mister. Mister's my father. But yeah, we can head on inside, get yourselves comfortable. I don't think we've got enough beds for everybody, but I could try and see what rolls we got.
As you approach the house, it has seen better days. The paint should have been reapplied a couple of summers ago. The planters are mostly weeds now. As you enter the house, we'll move to the barn. From your place in the loft, Boffin, you hear people approaching. Through the illumination of this magical light, you can see a young man who looks quite a bit like his father. And a ragtag group of who knows what coming down the lane like they own the place.
Oh, one of him perhaps does. But yeah, he's definitely at first just kind of grumpy as this being having woken. And then wary as there's a bunch of strangers, he's sure is after him. But upon seeing the kid, he's like, okay, no, I'm pretty sure this is a relative of the nice man who offered me a place to stay. So we'll get up and we'll actually start approaching the main house behind them.
All right, so Marius, as you're on the porch, entering your ancestral homestead, you hear the footsteps of a halfling approaching from the barn.
Hands are going on the sword real quickly. Not drawn, but
say
Hello, Vera.
Gail just immediately just kind of puts her hand to don't.
No, no need to worry. Would you happen to be related to the Mr. Monde who runs this farm?
Yeah.
Fine gentleman. He's
I might be.
offered me a job and a place to stay here. He may be a bit indisposed at the moment, but welcome home. And he's going to question, how are you related to the gentleman?
Where's my father?
Oh, he should be up in his room.
Sleep?
Oh, absolutely.
How many bottles this time? Jeez.
You mean the permanent sleep?
Counting
Yes.
his bottles is not among my tasks. But and he'll do a fancy little bow, and I'll with the tip his hat and everything. He's wearing fine clothes, but they are definitely worse for wear. And he'll introduce himself as Boffin Barrow at your service.
Nice to make your acquaintance, Boffin. My name's Marius.
Marius, yes, your father's mentioned you. Only good things, of course. I'm sure he'll be happy you're home.
I'm sure he will once he wakes up. But...
Gail is wary. Because
You were sleeping in the barn?
Well, yes, I mean, it's a place to stay.
Thought it'd be a little hospitable, but all right. Well,
Well, and it looks like with this group, I mean, someone's gonna have to stay in the barn for sure.
what brought you all the way out here? Did you come from Gatewatch?
No, I mean, I've been to Gatewatch. That's actually where I ran into your father at the pub. I let him know I was a traveler, needed somewhere to stay, and he said he needed some help with the farm. So it took a bit to get those words as such. But yes, I'm just a traveler, though obviously I've picked a poor time to be traveling in Greymore, it would seem.
So you've already heard the news?
Which news?
news of Gatewatch.
Oh, I mean, Gatewatch was fine last I was there.
It's not.
Something
now.
happened in Gatewatch? Oh, okay.
The king's arm has grown long, and
Long indeed. I'm beyond the border of Greymore. Might need to
I
get
believe
on the
Greymore
road
is
again
lost
soon.
in Gatewatch.
That's unfortunate. So did you all come from there?
Yes.
What happened?
Undead.
Undead.
I mean, sure.
A necromancer. Dead now.
Right.
We can talk more about it inside. Get some.
Yes, of course.
Boffin, really quick, have you been drinking today?
Yeah, some.
Okay, go ahead and let's just for funsies.
How drunk is Bob?
You've been drinking not the Monde.
I mean, there's not like a lot of it around because Mr. Monde takes most of it, but we sneak away a bit where we can.
Yeah, so Boffin, you were fairly sure that Mr. Monde came back from Gatewatch.
Oh no! I hope I haven't just. Like, at least not about that. Okay.
It's fine. He's not actually.
So,
Oh no.
I'll just
it's,
kick the dirt off your boots before we head inside.
as you enter the farmhouse, sorry.
As we're entering the house, Boffin would just like slip away for a second and try and sneakily walk or climb wherever Mr. Mond's window is and just kind of check to see if he's actually there.
Okay, you're trying to do so without the rest of the party seeing you?
Yes.
Okay, roll a stealth check for me, please.
Okay.
What?
They're pretty quick. I mean, that's pretty good. 13 on a 5. That's not bad.
That's
Uh,
impressive.
Jesus.
That's
Gale's
impressive.
passive with Gale's passive, she would notice.
Same with Edwin.
Oh,
So it's only.
So
oh no!
Boffin kind of hangs back and then scampers up the pillar, one of the pillars on the porch. Boffin, you look through the window, which is pretty dirty, but he hasn't bothered to fix the curtains, so it's fine. You can see inside. And the bed is messy. It looks like there could be something laying there, but on closer inspection, it is unoccupied. Except by bottles.
Okay, alright, I'll scamper back down. It's like, about that, your father may not be in his room. I'm sorry, the days have been blurring together recently.
Taking a little too much strength, then, have you?
I mean, not compared to Mr. Monde, but I suppose, as it turns out, can't fit as much as he can, physically speaking.
I'm gonna hold it
Troublesome.
in good faith.
Oh, maybe he's up. Maybe he got up to get some more training.
Trust your word.
Mhm.
See him now again. I'll confirm that information.
Mhm.
But for now, you are a guest in the house.
Hey, thank you kindly, sir.
But if I catch anything, he's just gonna leave it. He's leave it at that.
So, as you enter the house, Marius, you'll notice that your father's traveling cloak and hat and boots are all gone from their normal spot by the door.
Mm-hmm.
The whole place is not terribly well kept.
About the same as when I left it last time.
It's the shelves have not been dusted as you enter the family room, the greeting room, as it were, opens up before you. The carpets are fraying. The table is covered in a few papers here and there, and bottles, dishes that haven't quite made it to the wash yet. The slight smell of alcohol in the air, that kind of sickly sort of, this smells like empty glasses sort of odor. And really, it just kind of smells like sad to you. Wasted potential.
Smells like Dad. Well, he's gonna start.
Depression.
He's gonna put his sword up on the rack and on the coat rack. There's not really any other place to put it. And then he's gonna start picking up the dishes and bottles and clearing off the table.
When you get to the kitchen to put the dishes in the wash, you'll notice that the sink is not entirely empty, or not entirely full, rather. It doesn't look like any meal has been cooked recently. For all intents and purposes, it looks like your father left to go to the tavern or to go acquire supplies at some point in the day, and just didn't quite make it back. But coming home after dark is not rare for him.
It's not, but there's still a sense of worry about him. Okay. Alright.
One thing at a time.
I'm gonna get some wood from outside and I'll get the fire going.
I'll start on these.
Now,
She
Marius,
to the
shouldn't
dishes.
you should rest, or you're going to regret it in the morning.
Y'all
Why
are
don't
my,
you let-
y'all are
Honestly,
my
y'all
house, I
look
gotta take
pretty
care
worse
of
for wear, and you should probably all...
I'm
Right, the halfling can get wood for the fire. You can rest, and I'll do
Yes, I suppose I can do that.
Mr. Boffin.
You're here as hired help. Help.
I sure am, and helpful I will be, and he'll go outside to get some wood.
Please.
I feel I should go with him.
I would feel bad for asking, but if you would kindly.
Gale is following Boffin.
You were nearly knocked unconscious. You were
Marius, if you
stabbed
feel-
earlier.
If you feel
Sit
the
down.
need for help, just gather the dishes up and drop them in the sink. And Soliana's going to start on the dishes.
Okay.
And how obvious is she being about following us? She just literally just,
Oh,
like,
she's
walking after him.
she's openly,
Okay.
and she's
The
making her
party
presence
house
known.
cleans.
First adventure.
Edwin stands there awkwardly.
Boffin will just kind of glance back as he's walking out and be like, well, I suppose haven't introduced yourself yet.
I haven't. Mind, I was wary of you, given.
No,
we
I
came from.
was definitely wary of you all until I saw, the
kinda
boy who looks,
disappeared.
rather like his father. A bit hard to miss that.
Pardon my suspicions, but
No, of course, it's only natural in these sorts of times.
so how long have you been working here? How long was it today, or was it a little earlier?
Not long.
Not
It's
long,
been a few days.
right? Well, I suppose introductions are in order. Grim Knight, Galenian Folk. At your service.
Grim Knight. All right. Whew, okay. Wasn't expecting someone of that caliber among your ragtag group. No offense, but
No, it's pretty ragtag. Not many of us to be spared, but
no, I can't imagine. I assume it's thanks to you that lot was able to escape Gatewatch relatively unscathed.
somewhat. Myself and a superior officer, but they are more than capable. What brought you out this way? Are you from Greymore?
I am not.
Yeah, Boffin.
Like I said, I'm just a simple traveler who just picked a bad time to travel.
Gail would like to vibe check, because that's what she's out here to do.
I love that it's called vibe check now. It makes
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going
She
to
would
need.
like get a feel for
uh,
Boffin.
so, Boffin, I will need you to.
I'm scared. Zed, your characters always have such insight. I don't know if this one does, but
Guess we'll
Someone
see.
has to be suspicious.
give me temptation, goodness, deception or deception or performance, depending on whether you're trying to explain or deceive. Give that to me as a private GM roll, and Gail, go ahead and give me your vibe check, please, as a standard public roll.
I go inside, just a vibe check now.
vibe
Yeah.
check.
Check them vibes.
Not bad.
He appears to be telling the truth. He certainly is dirty enough to be a traveler.
Dirty, gross.
She's just gonna kind of, all right, just kind of to herself, just kind of nod. All right.
He's certainly no great warrior.
ouch.
Ha! Oh goodness.
Based on his clothing, rather. Yeah.
Well, traveling Greymore is certainly dangerous these days. But, well, I'm out here to help gather the wood, so you know the layout here a little better than I do.
A little
imagine.
bit, yes. Alright, I'll go looking for some wood.
Gail will follow and help out, just
Yeah, I'll definitely need your help carrying some of it.
of course.
The wood is trivial to find. There's not as much of it cut as, a responsible family would have. But there's enough for tonight's fire.
It concerns me that his father's not here.
Yes, I didn't
He was in
mean.
Gatewatch.
I'd assumed he was, but hadn't exactly checked until just now. He does often come back from the inn late.
I saw that. You're pretty quick there.
Oh, yes. I mean, halflings, we're a nimble folk.
You are. Know my share. Know my share of halflings, but
You've got a keen eye, though, and again, also not surprising for elf or partial elf.
have to be in these times as knights. Have to keep our eyes peeled for any.
I'll certainly
Okay,
feel
great.
safer with you all
Undead
here.
agent.
See, I'm not keen to have any run-ins with the current government.
You're no friend of the king's either.
No. It's rather disrupted my plans.
Oh, then. Perhaps we'll all get along quite well.
I hope so.
If you're no
And
friend
I mean,
of
if...
the king, none
What
of-
are your plans, your own plans after this? I assume you're not going to pull up in this pharma forever. There's definitely not room for that.
No, we have to keep moving.
Yes, and I mean,
Our-
if the enemy is in Gatewatch, it might be good for me to keep moving as well.
Orders are to go to Tolderon.
Oh, Tolderon, okay. Yeah, that's nice and far away from here.
We're to warn them so they can prepare and shore up defenses for whenever the king's arm finally breaches.
Yeah, I guess you're certain he's
The
not
woods.
going to content himself with Great Morphin. And I think you're right, but...
He's not. His father was content to stay within his own borders, but now he's come back, and I don't like the whole push for conquest he's got.
No, I mean, again, hopefully all of the neighboring kingdoms will recognize this threat. I mean, necromancers pretty much never make good neighbors.
Very rarely. Certainly not among my order.
No, of course not.
And while they're out gathering the lumber, is anybody in the house doing anything in particular?
Mary's probably shuffling around looking for some sort of usable linens to hopefully give everyone a place to sleep for the night.
Marius, in a stroke of either fortune or depression, it appears that your father has been cycling through the same 2 sets of linens this entire time. So, much of what was clean when last you were here is still clean, and the cupboards just dusty.
It's a little dusty.
Smells a little... Now, it's not quite moth-eaten, but these used to be nice linens.
They used to be. Memories from a past life.
Oh, Ma knitted this blanket.
That's the sort of thing, yeah.
Immediate trauma.
Well,
Sorry, good.
no, you're all good. You was just doing. Well, it ain't king's quality, but better than sleeping on the cold ground.
And
I mean, all of this is probably about a far cry from what I'm used to, but I appreciate it.
If either you want, my room is just upstairs, down the hall from my old man's.
You're going to need a proper bed to sleep in tonight.
I'll be fine.
Soliana is cleaning with all
I'm
the
not
vigor of... Oh, sorry.
No,
I
you're,
could-
you're not fine. She's right.
Soliana is
mess.
cleaning with all the vigor of someone who is obviously trying to get their mind off something. She's not going to acknowledge anything. There's a kitchen and it needs cleaning. She can do that.
All right.
Bale of hay is just as comfortable as a bed sometimes. He's going to say that pointed at Soliana.
Soliana just gives him a look, a little bit of a blush, like...
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of mattresses and stuff are stuffed with it, so I would assume so.
Yes, yes.
Do apologize that everything ain't really in a tight state. It's been a little over a year since I've come home. And most everything, I'm out on the road, and he's too passed out drunk to really take care of the place.
Well, that's okay.
But try to make it as comfortable as I can for you.
We can get it in some sort of presentable area tonight.
All right. And
Appreciate you doing the dishes.
as Boffin and Gale enter the living room again, Edwin, you can't help but take a second glance at Boffin. You definitely recognize Boffin from your time at Iron Pinnacle Keep. Like, not just like a little, like a lot.
A lot.
Not too many halflings around.
Boffin wasn't there for long, but he was definitely there.
Hard to miss Boffin.
Hard to miss often.
Ah, curse my distinctive sense of style.
I like to think that's what Boffin like says out loud or thinks to himself as him and Edwin just make eye contact. Like, damn it! If only I didn't look so good.
If I wasn't so devilishly handsome, I wouldn't be so recognizable.
Like, yeah. You were in the keep as well, weren't you?
Oh, is he actually saying this?
Yeah. It's just you. I know you.
I've been to Iron Pinnacle Keep, yes.
Gale's just gonna stop and look down at Boffin. Pardon?
Liliana's ears perk too.
Like, yeah. No, you were.
So why do you ask?
Because you were there the day that.
Gale
What
is
the hell?
now
I'm just gonna kind of look down.
Gale is now looking between these two.
I'm sorry, have we met? Because Boffin, I think, does not recognize this man.
Probably not. I was usually with the wizard. You know, that guy off to the side that no one ever pays attention to. Taking down notes.
Boffin, you vaguely recall a quiet, very tired kid running around, usually grabbing coffee for people.
Oh, God.
He was an intern.
Oh, no.
You only barely remember that he existed at all, which is appropriate because his master barely remembered that he existed unless his master needed new ink or coffee or something to that effect. You think his name was... I don't know. Edward.
Let's not make this situation worse by guessing the name. Yeah, I don't believe we met. Mr.
It's Edwin Illumis. Yeah, no, that sounds right.
And that just leaves the last member of your party, Miss
Soliana Bagwin.
Soliana. What a lovely name.
Oh, we're not.
Back to the point. How are you not dead?
To know each other.
What do you mean, how am I not dead? I mean, these are dangerous times.
Because all of the King's Guard died.
King's Guard? What's this about King's Guards?
Gale shudders a little bit.
I mean, naturally, they would have all died when the prince seized the throne, but...
Oh, you're trying to hide it, okay.
Just scrub this plate a little harder.
We're gonna insight that.
Okay, you're avoiding the subject, I see.
Marius is growing very suspicious. This
Marius,
Reportedly-
insight,
It's
please.
gone downhill very quickly.
Boffin, same check as before, also private GM roll, please.
Okay.
It was my job to know things. I know these things. I'm sorry.
I mean, Boffin is making a very strong case. He's playing dumb very well. And maybe there was more than one halfling at the court of the king.
who am I to judge?
So,
I know it's only logical that all of the King's Guard died, but I am sure a few of them must have gotten out.
so you're from the keep, and you recognize him from the keep.
I've made no secret that I've been to the keep.
On such a... Oh, what is the word? Monumental occasion?
Like I said, I'm a traveler, though perhaps not as simple a one as I've said. Let me reintroduce myself. Boffin Barrow, Prince of Halflings.
Gale is just going to she's going to walk over to the fireplace, dump the wood, and just roll her eyes.
I know a theater kid when I see one. Okay, that explains a lot. Listen, if he was
halflings, that doesn't sound familiar.
listen, if he was there the night that it happened, and he was able to get out, then surely some of the King's Guard must have made it out as well.
One would hope. Yeah.
Gale just kind of winces at that.
Dishes are done. Let's wipe down counters now.
The rest of you weren't there. I, unfortunately, was. I don't know how many guards did the king have? Like, wasn't that many?
Not
Personally,
enough, I
anyway.
suppose.
At least
Last-
four.
Last I saw it. 4. 3 not living.
Is there any food in the house?
There are some
Marius-
sundries.
All right, Marius, can you hand me some? I think I can make a stew out of everything. I just need a pot, and a fire to get going on the stove. Come show me how to work this.
Okay, all right. Let me just get this fire going real quick and be on.
Look, a
Right.
distraction.
Marius is crouched over the fireplace with his tinder box and trying to get this fire going.
Or is there like a cauldron or?
Marius, trivially, you produce a fire in the fireplace.
If only there was magical spells for that.
If only.
All right, but yeah, let me help you find the cauldron. If I remember correctly, always puts it somewhere under these cupboards.
That wasn't something that I needed to wash, so I assume it's going to be dusty.
Eh. You all right?
I am fine. A bit hungry, that's all. You know what they say, something that's good for the soul, stomach, heart. Just a soup, something warm.
Reckon we can do that. Get some water boiling and get everything going.
She does have proficiency with cook's utensils, so she can cook.
Yeah, I don't think you want anything, Mary, so cook.
It is quite obvious that Soliana is looking for tasks to avoid everything. Specifically this topic.
And Gale is just she's kind of stepped back for a moment to just kind of take measure of everybody again. Just because she knows denial when she sees it. She's not so sure about this halfling anymore.
Yeah.
She's still not sure about Edwin, but that Marius, he needs to take it easy.
You don't understand. There are guests in the home.
Go sit.
If I don't do this, they'll get me.
Sit.
Mama will come back from the grave.
And she will bring the wooden spoon, I swear.
Honestly, at this point, Boffin's also probably like trying to keep busy tidying up. Avoid for her lines
just
of
go back to doing what he was doing. He's just kind of like, it's not the first time anything he said has been ignored or just brushed aside, so it's just okay. It's fine.
Soliana's not trying to, Edwin, I promise.
I mean, Gale's gonna kind of just go over to Edwin and just kind of quietly, just so you know him.
Not personally, but my job to know people and keep an eye on people. It's not too many halflings.
No.
Not too many halflings. There were like 2 dwarves.
I mean, I've been to Villamont a few times.
Hard to miss the one big scary one that lived. Traitor. Another human. He was nice.
Wait, which one?
Devine or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, she was nice enough. Dwarfs were a lot.
So you knew each of the King's Guard.
Again, not personally, but he spent enough time in the court, and they follow him around. So
Gale's just gonna kind of put her chin in her hand and just. Was he one of them?
Pretty certain. Again, not many halflings, and seems to fit the mental description.
I mean, I suppose that would make sense.
I mean, it's possible that like someone survived, but
well,
just assumed that all of them were dead because the rest of them were dead.
I know what I've seen. Ugh.
It can get worse.
Well, the king marched through Orleans. I counted 4 of the King's Guard. If he rounded out to 5, she's thinking now.
Ponder, ponder.
Ponder, ponder, ponder.
I really don't want to tell Sully.
I mean, I'll have to pull that thorn out eventually. I mean, it's just not an easy thing to say, but you know, the certainty's better than the uncertainty.
I just hope that I never end up across the field from him. I've heard the stories. Grandma used to tell me a lot about him. Oh dear. But if he was one of them and he escaped, the rest didn't. Oh. Stewards, help me. This is sticky. It's only gonna get stickier, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably.
Wow. Alright, well, thank you. And she's just gonna kind of pat him on the shoulder and kind of get back up and just... Alright. After we've rested, we need to head to Tolderam. Need to warn the forest.
Reckon you ain't going by yourself, are you?
I would hope not. My previous orders were to help recruit others to our cause as the Grim Knights. So if you all would be willing to aid our cause, we would be happy to have you. Under what authority I have.
Well, my parents, unless they've gone back to Cozy Hearth, should be in Tolderam. So I should probably go tell them. Go warn them at least.
Right. We need to be spreading the word as best as we can. With how the king has pushed so hard to the borders, I don't doubt that he's going to try and push beyond.
Most likely.
Well, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, go with others.
And we need to go far.
You can count me in.
And Gail's just going to kind of glance over everybody else just to see who all is in.
Well, I already told you outside. I'd be happy to go with you if you'll have me.
All right. You did say you had a distaste for the king.
Absolutely.
Which I believe we all do. You, Edwin, right? You, might want to get rid of any symbols tying you to the keep.
Yeah, that would be advisable.
It was a hasty exit, honestly.
Well, now you can get rid of it.
There's a fire right over there.
Us would be connected to such things, no?
On the one hand, people will be suspicious and detain you in the next town. On the other, the king's people might catch you and drag you back.
Yep.
Where?
I assume you don't want to go back there.
No, I don't. I left.
Yes, Boffin, it would be terrible to be in some way tied back.
Be terrible fate, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't think my usefulness will carry over.
Well then, it'll be good to It'd be good to be able to inform my superiors that at least, we've got something of a resistance to kind of bolster the cause.
Resistance is a strong word for what we are, but I suppose Holderom and Valeran might be better suited for this sort of thing anyway.
If I know anything about the Rangers here, I'm sure they won't take kindly to it.
No, likely not.
But for now, we all just need to rest. Especially you, as she points to everybody who about bit it in Gatewatch.
Gonna.
Soliana,
You ready? Oh.
Soliana, go ahead and give me a roll with your cook's utensils.
Oh, yay!
Making us a nice stew.
Yeah.
Oh,
Real nice stew.
That's
Nice.
pretty
So-
good.
Especially considering the ingredients that you started with, Soliana, you're rather proud with this. Rather proud of this. You've managed to season it well. You found some things that are maybe used a little unconventionally, but the flavor really works. This is genuinely a good meal. Not a good campfire meal, like a good home meal.
Whole life brought back into
Oh.
this home.
All right. There we
And-
are.
surprised.
I will, Soliana, because of your good cooking, and because of how well this food has restored the meal, it restores the hearts and spirits of the party, I'm going to give all of you a point of inspiration.
Oh,
Yay.
Kick things off.
Mm.
It's like
Hopefully.
Mom. Tastes just like how Mom used to make it.
Yeah, you sure you got a bit of half? Then yeah, that's a good meal.
No, I'll high elf.
See why? Never mind.
Try
I'm
the
used to
new-
cooking for a dwarf, so, hearty.
Yeah. Understandable.
Very understandable. Well, that was wonderful, Soliana.
Thank you very much.
I suppose
Think so?
it's time to settle down and rest. You I think we need to check and make sure you need on your bandages, sir.
Every time you say
She just-
you like that, I feel like I'm being chastised, and I'm not even...
You!
Zen using her mom voice.
I feel explicitly attacked every time you say it like that.
It's very attention.
Sorry?
All right.
If anybody here's better with field dressing than I am, as far as wounds go,
Afraid that is not one of my skills.
I write a book.
I'm a bit magically tapped, so
I'm a bit magically tapped as well. If I could have a look at it. Everyone put your dishes in the sink when you're done.
Yes, ma'am.
You just cleaned up this kitchen.
here I'll clean up.
Thank you,
Gail will go work on cleaning up afterwards.
Was it,
After dinner.
Was it good, Edwin? I know it's probably not castle food, but
Oh, we'll do some. I got castle food half the time. It's good though. Yeah.
That Kingdom fast food instead. McDolores.
McDolores. But yeah, Soliana can look over Marius and change dressings and all that good stuff.
Okay, go ahead and give me a medicine check, please, Soliana. Yeah.
Okay. No.
Soliana, you're fairly certain this wound is infected.
Oh.
Oh,
Marius has no fever, but you're almost certain.
no
that-
fever. It's still a fresh wound. It's just red.
Does this look infected to you? She just like pulls the bandages off and just wrenches his arm out. Like, oh no! Does this look infected to anyone else?
Marius,
It's like a
her- sorry.
This looks like a wound to me. What were you saying, Drew?
The wrench on your arm is a little uncomfortable. It does.
Just
not,
going to be a little inhale on that.
It doesn't.
There's
It does not cause you any additional ill effects, however.
there should still be some alcohol around here if you need something to clean it with.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Is that sanitary?
Depending on the proof of the alcohol.
Is it mean
Alright.
sanitary?
Okay, I'll boil some water when I'm done here.
Thank you.
It'll kill me.
Yes, you need to stay in bed. You're going to get a fever, all right, if we don't get this cleaned up. So I'll wonder that you're not running one already, honestly.
Fever catch on that fast? Does infection catch on that fast?
It looks infected. I don't know.
Don't have any more idea than you do, so.
I'm a performer, not a doctor.
Just a good night's rest. I'll be fine in the morning.
I don't know. Has Edwin read any books that maybe say?
Well, I will say, I know this place is probably the safest place we could be right now. I still feel better if we had eyes looking around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all taken shifts before?
Yes.
It's looking
Yeah,
specifically
sensible
at
thing to do when you're on the road.
Edwin.
I mean, like, they
You ever-
reorganized the entire library, like, until dusk. Does that count?
I guess that is a good question. Are you certain you weren't followed from Gatewatch at all?
Not as far as we could tell.
Still no, but the boy's right. Caution would be wise. And I can certainly take a watch since I'm a bit less worse than a werewolf some of you. You should probably just rest, no watches. But
I'll take last.
and thank you
watch
for the suggestion, sure. But
I'll take last watch right before the dawn breaks.
if we can wake you up.
Oh, I'll be up. Don't you worry.
I mean, if you're anything like your father, might be a bit more difficult than you think.
I don't have the same propensity for the drinks of the flesh as my father does.
Even
So-
Soliana looks a bit offended by that.
So, Boffin, you're taking first watch?
Yes.
I'll come after you then.
All right. That sounds good.
I will do third.
Edwin's just confused. He has no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. Like, what the hell's a watch?
Right, you said, okay.
You just
I
you
haven't
just keep
left
an eye out
the
for
city.
trouble.
I haven't left the tower.
You sit up for a couple or few hours and watch for intruders. Anybody we don't recognize. Or in your case,
Anyone?
those you do recognize.
All right. I would
Yeah,
say it's
well,
safe to say don't trust anyone unless they look like Marius here.
There's not a lot of tieflings around here. pretty well.
No, but changelings are a thing.
Yeah.
Ha.
Oh, right way to complicate things.
Well, if he's walking in a straight line, then it ain't him.
No fear. One fear.
I feel like technically there's like changelings, doppelgangers, illusions, Bill.
Well, hopefully the prince isn't in league with any of those.
If he don't smell like dwarven whiskey or walk in a straight line.
I don't know. What elf meat will get you pretty messed up.
Honestly,
Yeah.
everyone thinks that the dwarf stuff is the hardest, but the wood elf stuff is harder.
At least around here. I've been to the party a few times. I've seen how people get.
Oh, the party. All right.
After Gail's finished with the dishes, she'll put a pot of water on to boil to help do that before finally settling down. And
Alright. And as everybody finds their place in the house to rest for the night, before we go through watches, we're going to take a brief break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You will not want to miss the exciting conclusion of tonight's episode.
Is Marius's dad dead? We just don't know.
We just don't.
Way to positively think, guys.
Alright, we'll be right back.
Like,
Welcome back from our very small break. 10 minutes. 10 minutes for you, slightly longer for us. Don't worry about it. We break time all the time here.
Something to meta is futile.
Time is futile.
Time
Anyway,
is an illusion.
we're back. We are just beginning the evening's watch, and I believe Boffin was going first.
Buffing the bold.
Say Boffin, then
Boffin the Bold, Boffin the Brave, Boffin the King of Halflings.
the Prince of Halflings.
Prince of Half.
Prince of Halflings, sorry, not King, not quite that bold.
Yeah, let's not overdo it.
Yes, let's not.
Gotta work your way up to it. You can't just walk somewhere and announce yourself king. Like, who does that? Like,
Name people who announce themselves as prince. You know who else did that?
The people
he
who
announced himself as
No.
king. That's the difference.
The people who announce themselves as kings are the ones who have the power and authority to assert that. 'Tis a matter of time until we see if Boffin has the authority and power to
Right.
assert his claim.
So far, no.
Alright. As the
Certainly has the stone.
group settles in for a long rest, Soliana is continuing to clean the kitchen in avoidance of some unknown problem. And Boffin, you take first watch. Where are you posting up?
Oh, gonna just step outside and then clamber up on the roof and just take a seat there so we can actually see farther than, a few
Why
feet.
don't you give me a perception, please?
Oh, okay. Sorry, 1 second. It's being weird. Is anyone else's sheet being weird? Currently.
All of my
Weird
sheets
how?
are fine.
Alright. Perception. No. Okay, here. Perception. Perception.
All right.
18.
You're
Right.
18. As you spend the first part of the night posted up on the roof of the Monde farm, you have a fairly clear view down the road towards the King's Road.
Right. Yeah, we're definitely being alert because we don't trust that this group was not followed. We are very paranoid.
You do indeed see followers.
Oh.
There are people in distant lights. Here they're heading down the King's Road, but none of them seem to turn into the farm. There are a few that pause and then rapidly move on. Other than that, the night is distressingly peaceful, almost, considering what the news that you've received about Gatewatch.
Right.
This time of year, crickets are chirping. The various sounds of the remote woodlands of Valerian sound far too peaceful. As if the woods don't care what's happened.
Right. Hopefully someone will hear, right?
But your watch goes without issue.
Right. We'll hop down when we're done and go and find Gale. Because she volunteered for next one.
As you enter, you do notice that Soliana has fallen asleep, curled up against the cupboard in the kitchen. She is
Right.
still holding a dirty spoon.
Yeah.
Does Boffin
Bring that
see
down.
any bedding that Marius had left out?
Not in this room directly. You can make an investigation check if you want to go through the effort.
I guess we can put a little bit of effort. Saying we're pretty sure he put stuff out, but we're also pretty sure his dad was here, so we should not trust our instinct, it seems.
With your 11, you
least throw some kitchen towels on her or something. For some bedding.
With your 11, you can find not like proper bedding, but kind of a sort of an old throw blanket.
All right, that'll do.
It kind of covers her.
Good enough.
Maybe a kid's blanket, but
Forgot to
Better
hand
than
out the
nothing.
blankets at the sleep.
But I need sleep, and I need someone watching her back. So time to get Gail.
all right.
Say, Gail was. She wasn't really sleeping yet, just kind of sitting and thinking. Oh,
Still up. Okay.
hard to sleep after a day like today.
I suppose. I mean, you should try to get some anyways, but I guess it's your turn to watch. It's just as
All
well
right.
you're still awake.
Anything of note out there?
There's people on the road, but I don't know if it's the Kingsmen or just people fleeing from Gatewatch.
Alright. Sully fell asleep in a weird spot. Okay. Alright.
She sure did.
Okay, well, get some rest.
That
All right.
kitchen's
I'll
clean
take
though.
Alright,
Kitchen is very clean.
Cleans as many
Rub
years.
with grief.
Gail, go ahead and give me perception.
She'll go out and kind of clamber herself up onto the roof herself.
It's a good spot.
It is a good spot.
All right, and your 10.
Gale.
Your 10 reveals fairly little to you. Indeed, the night is dark. The road and everything around you is quiet, but you take, for a moment, you're almost lost in how pleasant it is out here. You can almost forget the events of the day, or they come briefly flashing back into your mind vividly. That was a lot of blood. A lot of people hurt.
She just kind of shake her head and just rub her forehead and just scan out towards the road. That was awful. And she's gonna just kind of look up to the stars and just. Hope you're watching somewhere out there. Okay. And at the end of her watch, she'll
Yeah,
hop
as you-
down.
As you are getting down, you don't know if maybe it's because of your hopes or what, but you do have this vague impression that you're being watched, but it fades as quickly as it came. And a brief look around reveals nothing of interest.
Huh. Odd. Alright. And she'll go back inside and kind of shuffle her cloak on her shoulders and just go over to Soliana and just gentle hand on the shoulder. Soliana, you alright?
I'm fine. Spoon.
Yes.
Miss
The
Dawn.
kitchen looks a great sight better. It's your turn for watch.
Okay, thank you.
Boffin didn't see anything, just people going by down the road. I thought I felt something watching me there for a moment, but I'm putting it up to nerves.
Could be anything out here.
Yeah. So,
Don't worry.
all right.
Go get some sleep. Oh,
Hmm.
let's start on the living room next.
Well, one thing at a time, Soliana.
One thing at a time. And she'll go outside.
So, Liana, as you're outside, go ahead and give me your perception check, please.
Oh boy. She's not gonna climb the roof. She's gonna sit near one of the.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, and apparently get very distracted. She's had a day, man.
That is an 8, Soliana. So,
That sure is.
I need from you
Okay.
a wisdom saving throw
Oh no.
with
Oh
disadvantage.
girl. Oh, with disadvantage. Oh joy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
11. Okay.
Okay.
You've been doing a good job, Soliana, of keeping things under control. You are collected. You are calm. You are in denial. And as you're sitting there, with nothing to do but stare and think, the reality of your situation, of everything that has happened to you so far, cannot be denied. And you briefly lose the mental fight to keep that under control. He's dead. He's gone, and there's nothing that's going to bring him back, and it takes you a moment to shove that evil, nasty thought back down your gullet where it belongs so that it can come out and hurt somebody else later.
Good. Just a quiet little breakdown on the porch as she is like, oh, look at planters. They gotta not be... They're all wilted. Let's fix that. And she's like, not really paying attention to what she's using her druidcraft cantrip to like make the planters all pretty, and then she just breaks and starts sobbing over these flowers. She'll pull herself back together, and then Edwin was next.
Sure was. Poor boy's never been outside.
Oh, buddy.
Or at least he hasn't been, like, properly outside in a very long time. He'll be fine.
Soliana will go shake Edwin awake and just be like, Edwin, it's your turn for watch.
I mean, honestly, it's probably less of just, like, a... like, Kent will wake up and more he's just straight up. It's like, I'm sorry, was that a mistake? Sleeping. It's like, no, I'll go get sorting those things. Wait. No. Right.
Have you ever done a watch before?
No.
All right. I'll come sit with you.
No, it's fine. I mean, what Gail mentioned, it's just keeping an eye out for things. I mean, it's easy enough.
Okay. Well, if you need something, call. I'm going to do something else.
Wait.
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
No, you need sleep.
Okay.
It'll help a little bit at least.
Maybe. Not thinking will help, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll just scream very loud if you see something.
Oh, I'm sure you'll hear it.
It as excuse me. As Soliana, as you stay in and Edwin goes out, Soliana, what are you actually doing, real quick?
She needs to get rest. She's probably gonna like tidy up the living room enough to like be like, okay, yeah, and like fall asleep on the couch or something. just a little something, not to have to think about it for a little bit, to like tire herself out so that when she sleeps she doesn't have to dream.
Oh, silly.
All right. That's good to know. Thank you very much.
Oh boy.
Do me a favor and give me your perception check, please.
Come on, buddy. Nah.
Edwin, you are
better?
doing your best. And it's not that you're incapable of keeping watch. You're very attentive. They told you to keep an eye out for things, and by golly, you are. But this is the first time, and you don't know how long, that you have been able to just sleep without somebody demanding something of you constantly. And it's so hard not to.
Sorry, guys, he did his best.
Okay,
He
buddy.
did. I mean, it's that, or he is just hyper focusing on just like the staff he took.
You are sitting and pondering, but you keep on finding that your mind is weebly wobbling about. You're thinking about the staff. Oh wait, was that a thing? Was that a sound that you need to worry about? What's in the bushes? You're pretty sure something's watching in the bushes. No, something. Did you just doze off? You might have just dozed off. You should probably not. You should probably hold your eyes open wider to not fall asleep. Oh wait, no, that's making it worse. It's a rough watch for you, buddy.
Poor Andrew.
Oh, look at this, like, paranoia sets in.
Oh no.
But your watch does
Oh,
go
yeah.
without incident. As far as you know.
Oh yeah, no, there are probably people probably out there looking for me. Why wouldn't there be? Of course there is. They would want me back. I know things. I know things that they don't want out. No, I mean, of course I'd go to Valerian.
They're watching you.
Yeah, probably. Scrying's definitely a thing. It's like, oh, this is fine. Okay.
But before you know it, the hours of fear and paranoia pass, and it's time to wake up the next person.
Which is me.
Next person also needs sleep. Because that's Marion.
Yeah, he's fine.
No.
Wake him up. You're good.
I mean, it's like at that point, it's just like, hey, do I just go to Gail? She seems the most experienced. It's like, I don't think we should wake up Marion.
It depends on what hour of the morning it is.
Oh yeah, he's a farm boy.
He's a farm boy that just got his ass handed to him.
It's very true.
Another day on the farm.
I don't think Edwin can, in good conscience, like, wake up Marius.
Okay, if you are going to just straight up finish the watch for people, then I'll need a second perception check, or are you going to wake up somebody else?
Wake him up.
He's
can
not
do it.
waking him up.
He can do it.
I mean, I guess, yeah, we'll poke a Gale again.
Oh.
Like, just sorry to wake you up, but, I don't think Marius is able.
That's certainly a good call. I wouldn't.
mean,
How are you
I-
faring?
I haven't slept in so long.
Okay. Off with you.
I mean, I'll stay up if I need to, but you know.
I'm used to this. Go ahead. And she just kind of nods back towards trying to get some sleep, and she'll take a second watch.
All right, Marius is given the gift of sleep, and Gale, give me another perception check.
She's rubbing the sleep out of her eyes, just gonna need a cup of coffee in the morning if I can.
Damn.
All right.
She's more awake now, apparently.
Apparently.
Or nervy or something.
As you get out and start looking about, you notice that there has been they were here when you got here, so they might. Who knows how long they've been sitting there, but it looks like a group of people are parked at the end of the drive, or at the end of the road leading through the farm, like at the far end by the road. There's a couple of tents pitched. There's a mule you can see off in the distance. These are all very small figures, smoldering remains of a campfire. Nobody appears to be coming down the lane, but they are there.
She'll just kind of keep her attention in that direction, checking the sky, checking the lane. Right. She almost wants to walk towards it a little bit, just to see if she can get a better read on if they're refugees or travelers or what.
Okay,
Like not like just carefully, quietly, about halfway down the lane.
Okay. Go ahead. Excuse me. As you approach, go ahead and make an investigation for me.
Okay.
They are ragtag enough that these appear to be common folk. They're not soldiers of any sort. They also didn't set a watch. There's nobody outside the tent looking around. The fire is amateur at best. Tents are kind of cobbled together. There's 5. You can see. Actually, no, you're not close enough for that. Never mind. There are 2 tents.
She's just kind of thinking. She's wary, but if they are common folk, then she's almost nervous for them. But she'll head back up towards the house, just continuing to keep an eye on the area around to see if anything's going to try and move in or not. Just
Right.
keeping alert.
The rest of your second watch goes without incident. Everybody go ahead and take your long rest. As the sun comes up the next morning, Soliana, you did your best to tire yourself out enough to not dream, but you do dream.
She tried. She tried so hard.
You dream that you are on your knees before what appears to be Travertine. His face looks wrong. It's twisted in the worst of ways. Bone poking through, patches of beard falling out. The stereotypical dwarf zombie.
The horror.
Oh, good.
His blade under your chin, tilting this way and that, as he looks at you, evil glowing in his baleful eyes as you wake up.
Awesome. Probably
Gale's-
wakes up with a
Gale's
little
come
bit
back in.
of a start. Not quite afraid enough to like cry out, but certainly shaken.
Gale's just come back in. She kind of checks over everybody, checks if Marius is still breathing.
Yeah, Marius is up. He's up and about.
I'll probably be up
Okay.
fairly early too, since he had the first watch, and also had a less eventful day than the rest
Probably
of you.
starting to throw his boots back on.
Gale's gonna check on Soliana, just hand gently on her shoulder. You all right?
She takes a second and she like swallows down her discomfort, and then she just gives Gale a bit of a smile that doesn't reach her eyes, and she's like, yeah, just a bad dream, that's all. Rough night.
About as good as you can be, I imagine. There was a small encampment at the end of the lane. They did not set a watch. Just a couple of tents and a mule, but honestly, I worried for them, so half my attention was on them. But nothing else other than that.
Refugees, maybe?
Probably.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
So I would like to go at least check on that.
That's a good idea.
Did anyone see Mr. Monde?
No.
Oh man, never came home. His bed's still empty upstairs, so I'm gonna take it as a no. He didn't come home.
I didn't.
I certainly didn't see him.
Well, I appreciate the extra sleep. I appreciate the extra eyes looking out for the old man.
Of course.
Best case, he was hunkered down, tavern in town, and was either hiding from everything or too drunk to know what was going on. So, if anybody needs me, I'll be outside. He's gonna finish tying up his boots and go out to the barn.
Alright. In the meantime, as all of you wake up and find yourselves getting ready for the day, as I'm getting ready for the night, apparently. The kitchen is spotless, thanks to the efforts of Soliana, as she attempted to stave away the truth.
Yeah. Often just kind of like looking over where like she is in the like living room, just like that's not where I left at. Like,
Listen, she
yeah, no, right.
She tried her best to clean up the downstairs. She got the kitchen. That's the important part, you know.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like look between like Soliana and like yell at me, like just like, please tell me someone other than Marius got some sleep last night.
I mean, I got some.
Okay, all
More
right.
sleep than I've gotten in weeks, honestly. Not a lot.
That's concerning.
That-
Isn't it?
A bit.
That's concerning. Well. Alright then. Suppose we should see about some breakfast and then get going.
Right, breakfast. Okay. Give me a minute.
Do you need any help?
Oh, maybe.
Not sure what help I can be in here, but
Get you to beat some eggs or whatever.
You guys are using that kitchen more than it's been used. Long time.
Beat some eggs, chop some veggies. That'll be fine.
I can do those things.
Cobble together a little something.
Omelet. Do they have coffee?
That is a good
That
question.
is a good question. That's
So-
probably going to be the first thing that they're making.
The only
I mean,
thing
that
that
smells
Marius's father could use to
smells
get
like
himself moving in the morning is stout coffee with a bit of whiskey in it. S-
That's fair.
So they do have coffee available.
Yay!
Probably not good coffee.
It
Coffee is coffee.
it makes a cup of brown water.
Hot bean juice.
It do that.
Edwin, that is like Edwin's fuel. He needs it. He lives off of it. I'm sorry.
College student.
I mean,
Oh, thank
Yeah.
goodness. So he's got coffee.
Yep. We'll opt for the whiskey version ourselves.
Okay.
Mr. Monde has convinced us.
Is that a
Don't-
cook utensils trick to cook breakfast?
yes, I'm gonna need a check with your cook's utensils. To
Oh,
see if
boy.
you can make an omelet without breaking it.
Can she?
Ooh.
She certainly tried.
It's a bit of a shaggy omelet. Most of the ingredients are on the wrong side. They're lumped up on one side or the other, as opposed to being interspersed throughout. And you might have forgotten pepper, but not everybody likes pepper on the eggs. So it's probably fine.
Is there
Do
even
you-
pepper?
we call that. The correct term for that is called a shamlet. It's something like an omelet.
Omelet adjacent.
Omelet.
Omelisant.
The intent was there.
You tried.
Scrambled eggs with chunks mixed in.
Look, it's eggs. It's an omelet, kinda.
Worst case scenario, you just chop it all up, call it scrambled.
Yeah, worst case scenario, it's fancy scrambled eggs.
At least there is something.
Mm-hmm.
See, Gale's over
Probably
pouring
like
coffee
all
and-
the food that they have used
yeah.
on these two meals.
Marius, as
Yeah,
you're out in the
Gale's
barn,
making coffee and pouring cups.
as you're out in the barn, you do start to smell wafts of breakfast and coffee coming from the kitchen, riding the breeze.
Brings back pleasant memories.
Hmm.
Is the axe still hanging up in the barn?
The axe still right where you remember it.
Perfect. We're gonna chop some wood.
All right, make a strength check for me there, Marius.
Drink. Check.
But you just got stabbed yesterday. You don't need to
Let's reopen that immediately.
All right, you swing that axe, and as you bring it down, it bounces off of the log.
Mm.
You kind of got that off. You realized what was going to happen as soon as you were bringing it down. You know how sometimes the axe ends up a little bit off, and
Yeah.
you kind of thunk it a little bit more than actually trying to split
And
it.
it goes like.
Yeah,
I hate when that happens.
yep, that's exactly what happens with your first swing. But
He's gonna just, just Must be the shoulder or something.
The old war wound from yesterday.
I didn't do my stretches this morning.
It's fine, no one's watching.
But yeah, he's just gonna keep trying to just chop wood. We used some of it last night, so Dad needs it for coming nights if he comes back.
Going about your business, splitting some wood. Get a good bit of it done. As the morning goes, however, the others inside don't really notice it, but you start to notice another smell mingling there with the smell of breakfast and coffee. There's a smell of burning. It smells kind of like a house fire and decay. And though you're pretty sure your dad didn't have any bacon or ham or anything, you smell something that's like a sickly sweet roasting pork. Riding the wind.
Is it smell nearby?
You can't see anything around you that's causing it, but the wind is coming out of the east, blowing over the mountains and through the pass where Gatewatch sits.
That's probably it. He spends just a moment staring at where they came from, and then just goes back to chopping wood.
The smell doesn't last long.
So, back inside once food is made and coffee is poured, Gail's gonna... Marius went out. Where would he go?
Probably hear the thunk of...
Never
Yeah, we're
mind.
probably gonna jump the first time we hear that.
Never mind. Okay. Gail's gonna go out the door, glance down the lane, and go over to where Marius is. Oi! Food and coffee's on the table.
Well, thank you kindly. Probably got more use out of the kitchen than my old man did.
That's concerning, but sounds like it tracks from what we've heard so far.
Means you guys brought a little bit of laugh back to the place, so I appreciate it.
Well, and Gail's just gonna kind of touch the cloak clasp she kind of keeps on her. Just, yep, that's what my order's supposed to do.
Then your order seems to be like good folks.
Depends, I guess, on who you ask. To most folk, we're kind of scary.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
Necessary.
But
It's a
so
necessary
far, y'all seem to be doing right, so ain't that scary to me.
Right. Anyway. Notice anything out here while you were chopping wood? As she kind of glances over and starts, walking back towards the house, just kind of over her shoulder. Kind of a over-the-shoulder question.
Just lingering smells in the wind. As he looks pointedly back to the city that they came from.
And Gale will follow his glance and just kind of grimace. Yeah. We best get on the move then.
Yep. And he's gonna go back into the barn and put the axe back up where he found it and collect the wood he's cut and stack it with the rest. I'll go back inside.
What's everybody else doing?
question. Sitting around awkwardly, I think.
Breakfast. We're gonna
Awkwardly sip coffee because being around people is new.
Just like overly loud sipping.
It's not that awkward.
made breakfast. We're gonna serve breakfast. We're gonna clean up the mess we made while making breakfast. And we're gonna sit down and probably not really have that much of an appetite, but it's fine. Fine.
Force that food down.
Yep.
It's not about taste this morning. It's about getting ready for the road.
I will say that Soliana is pointedly not looking at Boffin.
Oh.
Yes. Where? If she looks at anyone, she's looking outside or at Edwin. Just...
Edwin, I would say that your coffee goes dry a little faster than everybody else's, just out of habit for you.
That's fine. He'll leave it for everyone else. Kale still hasn't had any, and who knows? He doesn't know if Marius drinks coffee or not. So it's just like, no, it's fine.
Shockingly does not drink coffee.
It's very shocking.
Fine. He doesn't know that.
Soliana's probably gonna
But he is eating that
slip
omelet.
a bit of whiskey into hers too.
Man, all of y'all.
I told you,
morning
don't.
drinkers.
If
Listen,
it's a bottle in his house, don't drink it.
She
It's
don't drink
alcohol.
often, but
Sometimes you just need a little.
she just needs a little. It's fine.
Alright. Yeah, Marius, when you get in, it's a delicious, omelet. Kind of reminds you of better days.
House is lively. It's clean. This is.
People here.
There's people here.
Yay!
Circumstances suck, but you know.
They brought company over.
He's just happy to have people around. Is all.
That's fair.
Absolutely fair.
Yeah, Gale is eating and sipping on her coffee and just thinking about preparations. All right.
Are we going to check on that camp at the end of the road? I imagine if we move
Yes,
on, we're
if they
gonna
haven't
have
packed
to.
up already. If they haven't packed up already, then probably be walking by them.
If they're fleeing this way, I mean, they might head the same way we are. Hey, worth checking to see if that's as far as Mr. Monde got last night.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Hopefully he got out.
would Soliana know how long it takes to get to like the next settlement?
Yeah.
I think it's Lothel.
Yeah, Lothiel, Soliana is
Lothiel.
about a day's travel away. It's a little bit over a day at a normal walking pace, without mounts or anything like that. And if you're going to, if you are walking, generally speaking, you're not going to get there by nightfall, but there is a nice inn on the way. At about exactly the right time.
At exactly
How far are we from Gatewatch?
Boffin,
Not a
you're-
couple miles out.
Yeah, you're a few miles out from Gatewatch, not far at all.
Okay. I was going to say, I assumed it can't be too far.
Far enough to be separated, but not far enough to not smell it.
All right, but yeah, let's check the
Scary.
camp. Hopefully he's there.
Lothel's a little over a day away, but there's an inn on the way, so
That's all right. Well, that's good. That'll go into that. I wish I dread it. I don't have a
Map.
well. I'm sure we can correct that as soon as we as soon as we can. But for now,
Sure we can get two. I'm sure we can get one in Lothiel.
I'm sure we can.
All right, well, if everyone's shoelaces is tied, your bootlaces is strapped, and
Yep. Give me a
Packs
moment to
are,
just
well,
get my armor
packed.
back on.
Boots have laces? Wizards don't got time for that.
bippity boppity, my shoes are tied.
You're just on Velcro.
Yeah.
I
I mean, bold to assume a freaking wizard isn't going to make light up flashy shoes.
just wearing light up Skechers.
That's hilarious.
That's a great thought.
His last name is Illumos, so
Yeah.
Well, no, he's not going to freaking wear light up shoes. Intern.
Pretty dope.
They make me feel like I'm going fast.
he's not cool enough for that.
No, he has a light cantrip, and that is.
Oh,
That is
Boffin would wear light up shoes.
Oh no, Bob.
Bob.
Oh, Boffin.
Got those dance moves.
Fashion statement.
So yeah, Gail's donning her armor and her cloak and packing up her belongings to get ready to go, and she's ready and waiting at the door. She's stepped outside though.
Eric's gonna follow not too long after, throwing his pack over his back.
Alright. It doesn't actually take Boffin that long to get his things either.
Yeah, well, Soliana, she's just like, yeah, that's all the tidying I can do. Well, hopefully that will be good for Honey. Nice little welcome.
Alright.
She cleaned the house, and now he's not going to be able to find anything. Where did I put that? Crap.
Threw it on the counter for a reason.
It's been there for months. Suddenly it's not. What the hell?
I hate how accurate that is. So.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just come in and
Anyways.
clean my house. It was the way I liked it. I liked it dirty.
I'm not going to linger on this
Organized
conversation any
chaos.
longer than I have to.
Not gonna chime in anymore then. Yeah.
Lest it call me out further.
But yeah, we're gonna go start. I guess we're gonna start hopping on down the road towards the. Well, I'm not gonna call them trespassers because that'd be rude.
They're not technically on your land.
They're not on our land, so
Loiterers? Or does that have to be on your land? too?
I'd say
The road is public property.
They say that about the sidewalk, too.
Yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as it's not harassment.
Yeah, Gail's already kind of eyes on this camp. How does it look? How does that space look now?
It still looks occupied. It looks very much the same. There's a little bit of movement around the camp. Not like a lot, but
Well, certainly people there.
you do see as you guys approach, you can see an adult man, an adult woman, and 3 children.
Most likely refugees.
Likely.
Okay. Well,
we're gonna strike up a conversation with them. An armed group of individuals coming down from the Barn Road.
it's fine. Gail's got her insignia.
Right. As you approach, they seem a little bit on edge. The man kind of steps forward between yourself and the family and, "Hail,
Hail.
Hail to you too.
You,
Where are you lot coming from?
well, coming from the same place as everyone else. We're coming from Gatewatch.
Okay, so, how bad is it?
It's bad, but we got out, so
Good. All right.
Very good.
Well,
I've been trying to keep the little one's eyes off the place.
as well it should be.
Soliana's gonna like step over to like a little bit to the side and get the kids' attention and just be like, you want to see a trick? And she's gonna distract them with druid craft as she makes little flowers.
You immediately have their complete attention. The man steps a little bit closer to you guys.
So you have nothing to fear from us. I'm with the Grim Knights and they're with me.
Well, we managed to get out, and we can breathe a little easier now.
That's good. My advice: keep a good pace towards Lathiel, or well, we're headed for Tolderam, but
He looks a little kind of confused, almost. Why? We're here. We're in Valeran.
for just in case, you know.
I mean, they're not going to leave Greymore. That's not their territory.
I wouldn't count on that.
Well, they
Um,
pretty much almost completely they took over Gatewatch, so fair to say their intentions aren't entirely yet.
say if my orders experience has anything to say on the matter, they think that there will be a push into Valeran.
My family's tired. We barely made it out of Gatewatch alive at all, much less with the supplies that we did.
Do you have anywhere to go?
I mean, we have friends. We're heading north. We're heading west as we can. Appreciate your
Wait.
concern, but
Where are you trying to get to?
wherever's next that will keep us. But I'm not in any great hurry. I'm sure that this will just blow over soon enough.
All due respect.
Keep
All
it
due
all
respect,
closed
sir.
on.
All due respect, sir. Treat it as if it will not.
He's kind of shuffling, kind of uncomfortably.
Again, hopefully,
you've got
the
a
neighboring
family.
kingdoms will come to the Greymoor's aid, but that will take time.
They need to know.
You'll need that
Greymoor needs
time to
help
get
first.
somewhere safer.
So absolutely get yourself to somewhere safer. According to one of my companions, there's an inn about halfway between here and Lathiel. So
It would be best if you kept moving.
We'll,
what I understand, the Rangers keep watch here, but
we'll try to keep moving. But
we wish you the best.
same to you. Safe
Gail's
travels.
just gonna kind of glance at Soliana and the kids and just kind of chuckle a little bit.
Don't pay attention to the conversation, kids. Look, pretty flowers.
Were there any others who made it out? And he's gonna just like look down the road as he asks that.
Nobody bothered us in the night anyway. There were a few others that came by before we bedded down. Haven't seen anybody this morning.
Perhaps they kept moving. I don't suppose any of you all have seen a tiefling gentleman. Looks awful, a lot like Damon pointed. Not Marius.
Yeah, Gale's also going to point at him.
It's the only tiefling gentleman we've seen. There's not many of them around these days. Ever.
Nope.
Certainly not around here.
No.
Often I'll turn to the group and to Marius in particular and be like, I hate to suggest it, but I do feel bad about the whole mix-up with your father not being in last night. I may not look it, but I might be able to slip into Gatewatch and take a look around. Once such as myself can travel incognito when I need to. Sorry, what?
Are you crazy?
How bad is it? Is it... And you all made it out.
Barely.
This is a conversation for not around the leaders. So let's
Just
Right.
yeah. Gale's gonna kind of gesture for us to move a little further down out of earshot. Before
As much as I am hopeful about it, we have to. I'm not assuming the worst. I'm just worried about the moment at hand. He'll make his way out if he can, but right now we got to worry about what's going on with us. I ain't no good to my father if I'm dead.
I was just thinking that since these people here seem to not be up to moving on right away anyways.
we don't even know if Gatewatch is still standing.
that's a terrifying thought,
Or
isn't
if
it?
it's been... And if it is, I imagine it's been overrun by now.
Breeze suggests otherwise.
From what? From
Could smell
what
it.
I saw. What I saw back in Orleans. He's after subjugation.
Means we
And
got
he's
pressing
not-
matters.
Right, I mean, it doesn't do to burn your own country to the ground, even if you are a necromancer.
He didn't mind burning certain things to the ground. That's for sure.
Gale's gonna kind of give Soliana a look and just kind of confused.
I used to travel with a circus traveling caravan, Frau Key's Sunset Cirque. And while we were camped out in Greymore, on our way to the Iron Pinnacle Keep, the prince swept through. We weren't from Greymore, so he...
Wait, himself? He was personally there?
Gale's gonna kind of glance, just kind of look over at Soliana, just understanding. Yeah. He wanted Greymore to know who was in charge now. He wanted us to know she just kind of shudders and shrugs her shoulder a little bit. The power he's got. Both
No.
his own and those around him.
Most of us, a good chunk of us got out alive, and I made my way back to Gatewatch.
I'm sorry. sorry for that loss. With my hometown, he just put the fear in all of us. Anybody who stood up to him, sword straight through the heart. Or beheaded. But are we walking and talking? Or?
I assume.
Assume so.
Okay. Just
Yes.
let me know if you guys do start walking so that I know that.
I knew that we were out at earshot of that family, but
I don't know.
Because Gail's going to kind of urge us to start walking so we can make decent time.
I don't know if
Yeah,
going
same with
back.
Edwin.
Huh?
Same with Edwin. He's want to fucking go back to Gatewatch.
I don't know.
If you want to
No,
go, fine.
If Marius doesn't want me to check on him, I'm not going to.
I don't know if going back to Gatewatch would.
my point is...
Oh, you've convinced me. It was just a thought.
It's appreciated, I'm sure.
Another loss of life ain't gonna help nothing. I appreciate the concern, and I am grateful for that.
And again, he was good enough to give me a place to stay, with everything going on. Would hate for something to happen to him.
Ooh.
But right now we got to worry about getting the word out, helping her on her mission, and just overall spreading the word about this.
You're right. Yeah, the
Orders are
sooner we
orders, a
can get
job's
to
a
the-
job.
The sooner we can get to the higher ups in Valerian, the sooner they can put an end to all this.
Yep. That's what we've got to do. Alright.
Hope y'all brought your walking shoes.
Always.
Buffin just wiggles his halfling feet. It's like, oh, shoes.
You don't wear shoes.
I'm scheduled to come back this way in months.
As you set off down the King's Road, the family is they kind of watch you go.
Gail will wave back to them just with a smile and a
Oh.
good luck.
Marius did want to talk to the old man
Oh.
real quickly.
Okay.
Just basically offering the house if they needed a place to lie for a day, just try and figure out their plan. Better than sleeping on the side of the road.
That's an
Feel free.
uncommon kindness.
Well, my old man ain't around here, and well,
That's when he gets home. It's just a bunch of strangers. No Marius, no Buffin, just a bunch of other people.
Just if you see him, and he's gonna just say something in Infernal. He'll understand.
Nails against chalkboard.
Just really don't forget the enunciation of that either. Like, it is very important.
Tell this a commenter, just speak Infernal.
You
Um,
can we not leave a note?
Marius, you know most can't. Most people only know common.
If you see my father, just say Ashnaz Gimbatu.
He'll know what
just
you mean.
look him square in the eye and just say scream. He knows what that means.
That specifically.
All right.
But it's
Secretly, it's the pronunciation of how you say his mom's name.
Aw.
Why'd you say that name?
Martha. There's plenty of beds, plenty of linens. You find yourself comfortable.
The
There's
kitchen's
wood
clean
chopped
now.
and ready to go.
Thank you. I mean it. Thank you very much.
No problem. Just turn and walk away.
So follow up for Marius real quick and be like, just to clarify, would would you be extending that hospitality to anyone who might be fleeing Gatewatch?
If anybody, I have a feeling that things ain't going to be staying in Gatewatch. And
No.
I don't know if Farm still be staying after all this. That's not where my mind's at right now.
Fair enough. And he'll just go kind of over to the, farm gate that has like the sign. He'll just kind of like notch a little thieves can't marks that just like listed as like a safe house.
Gale's gonna.
Who might be
Oh.
fleeing Gatewatch.
Oh. Good idea on that one, actually.
Yeah, don't need any more people sitting out in the open on the road.
Well, hopefully other folk will understand that mark.
Sure, some will.
Some is all.
Just
Some is
side
always
eyes
nice.
Edwin, like, do you understand what the knife marks mean?
Nope.
Okay. So long as it's not just me.
And then he'll also leave a mark that just encourages people to keep traveling as well. So.
Alright.
No, I can speak Elvish, Dwarvish, Common, Draconic, and
one of that.
Halfling. I don't know what that is.
Well, he has is it some sort of halfling in it? It's like, no.
No.
No, I'm speaking criminal here.
Okay. How did I not give?
Pretty sure he was lying about that whole Prince of Halfling things, too.
Oh no, that's just him being a theater kid. That flamboyancy. I've seen a lot.
Marching down the road. Marching down the road.
I mean, you could almost say he just has, like, the overconfidence of just a wizard. Or a bard.
Bard would make more sense. Certainly dresses like one.
He's surprised how many wizards dress like that, too.
I'm just talking about Boffin behind his back as we're walking. Just...
Alright, so as you walk down the King's Road, eventually the road will fork, and one direction goes north up the Green Road, then one goes west towards Lothiel and Tol Jerome. At this intersection, there are several camps. Lots of tents pitched, and people that seem to almost be digging in. As you're walking through, there's a few people kind of keeping an eye on you, but there's a little bit of talk of just waiting for it to blow over. Be able to go home soon.
Oh.
A lot of these people, all these people have lived in Gatewatch most of their lives. If not all of them.
Oh, are there any faces he recognizes?
Yeah,
Make a
Gale's
perception
looking-
for me. Both of you.
Yeah, Gale's looking for her superior.
Okay.
Stormcreek? You said
Stormcreek.
investigation? Or
Perception.
14.
That's
Hey.
Marius, you don't... you recognize some faces, but not names that you know, necessarily.
It's like, oh, I've seen them around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, Gale, you notice several people that, because you were out walking around Gatewatch yesterday, trying to convince people, you see a lot of faces that you saw in passing, and a lot of faces that are more lonely than when you last saw them. Some fathers that are alone, or mothers where there's no father, or that sort of thing. But you continue down the King's Road. As you do, It is a quiet day. The world seems to be turning irrespective of what happened in Gatewatch. As a whole, the day's continuing as if it doesn't particularly matter. It's indifferent to the suffering. The South Shara forest to your right looms over the King's Road, often blocking the harshest part of the sunlight. It is a beautiful path. The Grey Rock Woods on your left. The two forests meet at the King's Road, and they're both. At the moment, they seems almost deceptively safe. It's very quiet here, very peaceful, and as we wrap up tonight's session, you come around a bend in the road, and there is a great gathering of people around a large, squat building in the Elvish fashion, with the sign hanging out front. It's a traveler's bindle. As you reach the last house before Lathiel. And we will pick it up there next week.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So, thank you guys for
Alright.
joining us. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us.
Thank you, Twitch.
And we look forward to giving you more of the
Of the histories of Yulavar.
Yay!
Risen War.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
Going so well.
Oh, and don't
Yay.
forget, subscribe on YouTube. Look for our VODs there. Join our Discord server. Check out the artists and stream at their various social media handles. And am I forgetting anything?
Smash that like button.
Yeah, do that
Be
thing.
sure to check out our site on card.co, where we have a lot of our information.
Yes.
You can
set
find
it up, and you did such a good job.
and you can find that link if you join our Discord.
All right. Good night.
Night.
Good night.